Oh, shit.
He's checking for wards.
Wait, who has that voice line? It's Gyro, right?
Which one?
Oh shit, it's Viper.
Holy shit, it's Viper. Yeah,
Holy
that's Gyro. It's a reference to which TV show is that again?
I don't remember.
I
don't know.
Why do I not remember this? This is going to bother me, Cap. I don't watch shows, though, so I'm not supposed to know this.
It's right. You don't know any media. How do you know this? And I don't.
It's from Top Gun.
Oh. Okay.
There you go. That's a TV show, apparently, not a movie.
Yeah, that's...
Close enough.
It's
from before I was born.
Air Force,
I get a pass.
I was Marine Corps.
It's from before we were born, Cap, so we're good.
True.
That's crazy, isn't it? Top Gun is from '86.
Damn. All right, so Waska are hanging on by a thread. That's currently their situation, is they are hoping to be able to somehow win out the rest of their series, and then Falcons also loses, and Liquid also loses, and there's like a 3-way or 4-way tiebreaker for 4th place.
Yep.
That's the hope. The more realistic one is get yourself some wins, so you can get a higher placement for some more points. And more money.
Yeah. It's definitely, I mean, you could argue Waska have everything to play for because they're still playing for the potential, but you never want to find yourself in a position where you're dependent on other teams' results. That's always... It always leaves so many what-ifs, and ultimately, if you end up with a scoreline that could have got you tied, but then you were 1 series short, you're going to have regrets about that, etc. So, you know, ultimately, every series, you just got to bring your best, and I'm kind of with what Effie said as a pattern of problems that I'm seeing for Waska compared to the other teams, because I actually think in many of their games they're playing really well. I think they're very much on the same page. I think they have good teamfight execution, but the biggest Achilles heel for this team seems to be the draft. Maybe teams have figured out a little bit of hero pool issues or shortcomings, because if you enter into a game and you first pick this Mars and you end up putting him mid into Viper, and you last pick the Primal Beast into DK, I don't feel like you're setting yourselves up to have a good time. This lane for Malrine should be very easy against Mars, and I genuinely think Falcons are going to win. They're going to win 2 lanes, and then they should lose top.
We'll see if that comes to fruition here. Blap, blap. 36 gold for Crit.
Yep.
He turns on the little shredder to clear through some cogs.
I guess I should be a little bit careful with maybe judging this top lane too early, because in theory, Doom against SF, if you're playing with an aggressive 4, can be interesting. Shadow Fiend is really bad when you come up nice and close. Doom just pops Scorched Earth, you cookie him in, and you just stay on top of SF.
Yep. And
if Clockwork ever doesn't have protection ready for you, you're just going to get run down and die.
Yeah. Or it's even possible you accidentally put, you know, the Doom and the SF in the cogs together, and
yeah, that's
kind of a mess.
Yep. Very true, and I find it to be a lot harder to predict the way cogs work when you have expanded armature.
Yes, same.
With the old, with no facet back when that wasn't a thing, it felt sometimes it was a little bit unpredictable, but mostly the cogs made sense. Now with this armature, the pull range is enormous, so it's really, really difficult if a teammate is on top of an enemy to separate the 2 of them. That used to be a lot easier to do in the past.
For sure. Well, lanes are looking very good for Falcons. So it seems that the criticism, harsh, but completely accurate. 13 and 11 on the Viper. That is just going to be a rough start for our mid lane. Crit's going to take a lot of damage from Udomi here. Does get him inside the cogs. Again, the little shredder goes out. Crit's farming in front of him. It's like, I'm ignoring you, little robot man.
Oh, nice little extra gold, why not? And in the meantime, we get to see the exact thing we talked about. He's not going to be able to kill Pyke, but he'll get him low. And of course, you can imagine that situation if Snapfire is actually part of the play. That's very easy. Now, all right, Cap, do you want the good news for Waska or the bad news?
Hit me with the good news. I'm an optimist at heart.
All right, I don't got the good news right now. I'll give them later. The bad news is this mid lane's going to get even worse. So these first 2 levels are the easy ones for Mars. Now, Malrine is going to be level 4, soon to be 5, and I genuinely think you can barely lane anymore.
So the optimist is that there will hopefully be good news?
The good news is that you first picked this Mars.
Yeah.
So you can just not do that next time. you're not forced to do it again.
Right. You don't have to repeat your draft.
Yes. You get a do-over. You get a mulligan.
Mulligan. Yeah.
Although generally a mulligan doesn't include a loss. It's just
a freebie.
Yeah.
Did you ever have one of those moments when you were drafting one of your teams?
A mulligan moment?
Where you wished you had a mulligan?
Every game.
Oh.
I mean, definitely. There's been... I think if you could give me a mulligan for any game I've played, then I will guarantee you, almost certainly, that I would use it on a game where I got last pick brooded. Because those games back then were genuinely 90-10s or worse.
Sure.
When you just were like, oh man, we forgot about brood and we have no solution, and then you played against some brood specialist, and the game was just lost. Yeah. There is no hero in Dota like that anymore. You cannot possibly, I would argue, you cannot possibly make as strong of a last pick in Dota anymore as you could back then with brood. There was also a phase with last pick Huskar where it was similar. It was just like 90-10, you know?
Did you never get a Meepode? Like,
yeah, that too.
I remember a couple of those wild card.
Okay, good rotation. They're going to bring a ton of heroes here.
Yeah, they're going to make sure they have enough firepower to kill the Viper without losing anything for it. Now, it does leave their side lane solo. Pyke does pay the price for that. Crit got a kill on the Shadow Fiend, but you know, you're losing all of your lanes. You got to try and win something. Change the dynamic a little bit. I think that's fair.
Unfortunately, Falcons got first blood. They killed DSF first. So you didn't even win on that rotation, really. But you do need to, I agree, you do need to do something. The one thing you cannot do as Dire right now is just sit in the lanes and accept defeat. It's a very tricky position to put yourself in, that you're kind of forced to make moves all the time, because it's hard. It's hard to execute these plays. But to finish off on your Meepo thing, then yeah, he's also in that wheelhouse. Meepo back then also just had borderline auto-win games.
Yeah.
But the thing about that was there were way fewer players that could pick it, and way fewer teams that would identify that it was a good Meepo game when it was. Whereas Brood was very obvious and straightforward to play, really. Just the biggest mistake of Dota.
Yeah, I just remember, didn't Abed play, he played a couple of Meepo games in like the wildcard matches.
Yeah.
And I was curious, because you played in one of those wildcard ones, right?
Yeah, it was that exact one, actually.
Yeah. But you did not get Abed Meepo.
A couple of teams gave Abed Meepo, we first banned it.
Nice.
And then Kyle was like, we're good on complexity, we can beat it, and then they lost.
They
that
were
was
not
very smart. Pyke is trying to get
Whoa,
away.
He's got a little bit of Lotus that gives him some HP, and the Scorched Earth is run out. Can they do the Breathe Fire? Amar just might die to the tower. It's close, but he's got some stick charges.
Oh.
He's okay. The Breathe Fire did not finish him off.
Okay.
Pyke lives.
He does. And, okay, good news for Waska. There's your good news.
Hey!
They get both wisdoms. Oh, crit's too late. Damn it.
Just remember, guys, if you don't know what the good news is,
it's wisdom. Oh, if Yadomi also kills Amar. More good news.
Level 3 battery assault. Can he do it?
It's gonna be close.
Oh, no!
All right, that was too much good news, Cap.
Too much hope.
We're out of news.
No.
Tune back in tomorrow. In other news, breaking news mid-tower.
No more news. But in other news,
breaking news mid-tower is falling minute 7. Courtesy of Snaking's Enchantress. Very classic Falcons early game move with that hero.
Yeah.
They're going to make
lane win into tower push.
And here's the thing about a game like this is I think you can always make the argument that Dota is a very multifaceted game. You need to be good at the draft, you need to be individually skilled, you need to have good teamwork, you need to have good comms, etc. It's just such a shame if this game just ends up being Falcons walk over them because they messed up so bad in one aspect that Waska don't actually get to showcase how well they've played this tournament.
Yeah.
There are going to be games like that, and they got to salvage this problem soon, and they're going to try to against Snake.
Oh, got a cookie now, Skeeter. He was waiting a long time to pounce, and he does. Hits the Dragon Tail on Pyke, but no follow-up, so they'll just have to content themselves with a kill on Udomi. Falcons do bring all of their heroes to this part of the map, though.
I'll get this tower for it, and Skitter will just return to bottom lane immediately and take the farm. So something Falcons do very, very well is make sure to bring Skitter It feels like this is the aspect of Dota that Falcons have learned the most from Gaming Gladiators, is moving the carry and using Snaking's Enchantress in the first 10 minutes. This genuinely is... I'm not going to call it a carbon copy because they have their own take on it, which heroes they do it with, and the exact moments of opportunity or whatever. But the overall concept and the overall idea of how they use the gates is very, very reminiscent of how Gaming Gladiators were just rolling over tournaments earlier this year.
Right.
See what Snaking's next plan of attack is. He's taken the mid and top towers minute 9, so that's obviously very great news.
Be good, and he is closing in on 6. Doesn't have it yet because of the Wisdom Rune steal from earlier, but once he gets 6, then he's usually able to play in the enemy jungle without too much recourse.
Matthew's level 4, despite him getting 2 wisdoms.
Yeah.
That's actually unbelievable almost. That is rough. And...
yeah, they'll burn out.
We'll just run down the next. It's gone. If you had to put a number on it, how big a percentage of the map do you feel like Waska can control right now, 10 minutes in?
Like 10%.
Okay, maybe that's a bit extreme. 10% is the size of their base.
I mean, okay, if you take away the base, right? The actual map part where you play and hit neutrals and stuff.
10%?
Yeah, they kind of only just own the side lane camps. I don't think they own anything in the middle, basically.
So they have really good wards, though. They've placed 4 nice wards out in the top half of the map. I would say bottom half they have no claim to whatsoever.
Yep.
And then they probably own like the absolute top, where Pyke is farming right now. The right side, and maybe also under the own ward where Clock is farming. So you're just such a negative person. I don't think they have 10. They have like 20.
20. You're right, Sigrid. That's much better.
It is. It's twice as good.
As big.
There you go. But the thing about map control, Cat, is that it's not the size of the map that you have. It's how you use it. So we'll see how Waska used their map. They're going to make a smoke move, try to find a moment of opportunity, but Sacred...
Good TP away. He is out. Nicely played. A pin here. Immediate follow-up from Udomi. Hits the hook shot, gets them inside of the cogs, and they just run out of damage. The Vipers coming in with the haste rune. Yeah, that's why they were running.
Uh-oh. So you just made a smoke move to kill your own support. But you did save your primal, so he got out. It's rough. It's hard to watch because Waska have kind of done this to themselves almost. It's not just that Falcons are outplaying them. They asked for it.
That play has like no outcome besides maybe scaring Falcons to back up.
They can't kill them. Like those games can be a little bit frustrating to watch because I know how good Waska have played in some of their games. They've been very, very good. We saw them yesterday in Game 2 against Liquid. Did a great job, but it's just a shame if they don't get to show what they're made of. And it's a combination. Falcons are obviously amazing at this game and at this stage of the game with this type of lineup, which furthermore emphasizes you gotta have good lanes against this team.
Yep.
This is how Falcons win half their games, and you're just letting them.
Especially if you're going to give them Enchantress.
You gave... there's not a single surprising pick on Falcon's draft. This is all of these heroes they play.
I would say the Viper's a little bit surprising in this
only one that's
patch.
a bit of an outlier, but it's not surprising given the heroes that you showed at the time.
Sure.
So you can't really be surprised that Malrine can pull this one out of the bag, especially because he's a friend of MR, and to be a friend of MR, you need to play Razor and Viper.
Correct.
And so he should have known. As a matter of fact, that's why Creepwave split up as a team, was that Crystallized said, I refuse to play Viper. And then they were like, we will never talk to you again.
He's been ostracized.
Yeah, just...
You are not of the Brotherhood of the Viper.
Radiant are scanning.
Imagine you build your team and your friendships with each other over who can be the most impressive of playing heroes that are just inherently unfair in lane.
Yeah.
And then Amar is like, I'll play Timbersaw with max reactive armor against heroes that can't damage me. I will play Huskar against heroes that can't harass me. And I'll play Viper and Razor against melee heroes in favorable matchups. Who can one-up that? Oh yeah, and I'll play Doom, so I can just anti-carry. The guy I'm laning against, I'll just Doom him and he can't fight back. What are you gonna do?
The way you describe it is just...
It
really is it's a playing style. It really is the most scumbag playing style.
It's extremely oppressive, and I think that is the best way to play Dota. In games, if in strategy, nice hook shot. See if they can get something out of this.
He's gonna turn around and doom him up, but the physical damage is still there. They got the pin on the cogs. They got the kill, a second kill for Waska. They'll still pay the price for it. In fact, they want to try and get 2 kills off of this one. The arena's gonna be used though. Dark Mago wants to make sure. And he does get out successfully after netting a very important kill for them.
That's a good trade. Definitely a good trade. They also got a lot of rotation out of Falcons and used the Doom to only kill Clock, which he wasn't even the one killing. So, but yeah, if you think about it, in strategy games like Dota, when games have really high complexity, putting pressure and playing aggressively is mostly going to be the best strategy, because it's hard to grasp and understand what you can get away with when you're constantly dealing with not getting to structure the game plan that you are imagining, right?
Yeah.
If you're the ones on the receiving end, you constantly need to come up with solutions, and it's a lot harder to come up with solutions than running the show. As someone like Amar, it's ironic that the hero I feel like he got most famous for is actually his least oppressive hero, which is the Mars. But aside from that, his entire primary hero roster is extremely oppressive in nature.
You know, what you're talking about has made me reminisce of an old team. I wonder if you would think of this team like in the 2013, 2014 era. A team that had a very specific play style.
Aegis?
No.
Well, it's worth a shot.
I think our play style was just relying on Quinn.
That's not a bad place.
He was OP. Turns out we were playing with one of the best players in the world.
2013, 2014 oppressive team. The player that I can think of...
2014, 2015 maybe.
I mean, definitely Ice 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 as a player used to play that way. But I don't think his entire team was playing that ideology. So I'm guessing you don't mean DK.
No.
What team in that era did that a lot? I mean, a lot of...
It wasn't necessarily laning phase focused, but they were very much in your face. Played fast, really aggressive, and it was a playstyle that was different than a lot of other teams and created for some upsets as a result.
There's been multiple iterations of teams with Puppy that have been very aggressive too, but it's also not them. I'm actually not sure what team you're thinking of.
The old MVP Phoenix.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, right?
That's
like,
right.
they were a team that had a unique playstyle that they played super aggro, played together, dive in your tier 2s and stuff. And as a result, like, the more constructed, established teams, their game plans would fall apart in the face of so much aggression.
They were the team to either knock down or knock out OG from TI6, right? The one that they were considered one of the favorites for, and then they only got top 8, if even, right? I feel like there was this game where MVP Phoenix played like Darkseer and PA and just ran them over.
Got a Doom onto the SF. He's trying to cut up to the corner of the map. This place is kind of awkward here. Amar's just going to BKB TP out. Hits by the hook shot. Do they still have the chase down? Oh, yeah, they've got it with the Primal Beast coming in. So what a great turn there from Waska. Somehow there are 5 heroes in this corner of the map. Mars probably going, what the hell are they doing here?
Yeah. If you want to dive that area and kill a hero up there, you better bring Burst. Like, if you're trying to kill someone slowly next to their base, their response will come in. And Falcons, these heroes that they brought were not fast at killing. This one looks a bit quicker.
Does indeed. Even still, he gets off the arena, but Waska have already used so much of the resources getting the kills.
Skitter
Doom
needs to start up on his classical music. He was off by a couple of beats there before the arena went down and took 2 hits from the wall, but, well, we'll find a little squirrel afterwards. That answers the question from last game. What does Coddle cook? Squirrels? Yes!
Oh.
He's a sick old man.
Go squirrel hunting, huh?
Mm-hmm. He's also a creep. The way he interacts. He has, I believe, Coddle has a voice line for every female hero in the game.
That is true.
And some of them are really creepy. What is that?
That was 2013 Synderen.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm just talking about that's
You're
creep,
not-
and then it just bring up an old picture of me.
Yeah,
What the
production
fuck,
was-
production?
that was
Hello?
busted. No.
What? They realized how bad the timing was. They took it off immediately. Oh, yeah, that's probably...
You're
maybe
talking
a
about
little
an old creepy guy.
That's a bit tasteless, in my opinion. Excuse me?
Radiant's middle tower.
Nice
is under
deny from
attack.
Dark Mago on the
Has
tower.
been denied.
I am not...
Oh, hook shot through, hit Snaking as well. A double spear.
Nice.
Snaking gets pinned to a cog, bounce back at the same time. Funny interaction.
All right, Waska with another... I mean, so here's the thing, right? You were 7k down minute 15 or whatever, which is a terrible position to be in. But if Falcons... This is what Falcons sometimes do in their games, is that they play hyper-efficient around the map, so they're really maximizing farm. If you're good at taking initiative in the game and finding pickoffs when the enemy team isn't together, the net worth lead isn't actually that important as long as you outnumber on all the moves, because then you're compensating. So if they can keep doing that... Oh, nice reaction here, or foresight, rather.
Yeah, foresight.
Shout out to Pyrian Flax, of course.
Of course.
Matthew. Another meal for Coddle.
Yeah, he's having a rough
Dire's
one there,
middle
Matthew.
tower is under attack.
Do you know what Coddle says to Brood?
Something about
Radiant are
legs,
scanning.
right?
I think he says an old man could get
Dire's
lost in
middle
those
tower
eyes.
is under attack.
Oh, eyes.
Doesn't he? I
Dire
think so.
are
Something like
scanning.
that.
Yeah.
I remember that quote because I was like, that's so weird. What a weird old man. I like the hero, though, but... He's also one of like the 4 primal beings of the universe or whatever.
Yeah,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
He has seen it all.
Extremely powerful, according to lore.
Yeah. Only
Dire's
3k?
middle
Cap?
tower is under attack.
It's
Uh,
closing.
I still don't think the game state is necessarily great,
Dire
to say the
are
least here for
scanning.
Waska, but I was expecting this to look worse. So definitely got some fight in them. After that bad start, they have recovered it quite well. This is a little bit of a fake lead because there's a Tormentor unclaimed on the Radiant. So in reality, this is probably a 6k lead-ish now, 5.5 for Falcons.
I'm trying to find the voice line.
Oh, the Coddle one?
Yeah.
With Brood? Yeah, there's so many, right? You have to scroll through all of the responses he has.
He did a really good job of following the Warcraft 3 technique of just lots and lots of voice lines.
Yeah. I've always praised the sound design of this game. It's something that Dota does better than any other game, in my opinion. Any other game I've played, actually, is you can close your eyes and you can imagine the fight because all the sounds are so iconic and so unique and so distinct. Have you played that minigame that you can play online where you can just get Dota sound after Dota sound and you need to guess them? I forgot what it's called. That was really fun to play as well.
All right, so I found
Dire's middle
his
tower
line to
is under
Broodmother.
attack.
Yeah.
I swear there was one about eyes or legs, but the one I see is, "Mother that you are, you have my great respect." That's not creepy at all.
Maybe they changed it. Maybe they realized it was weird.
Yeah, maybe realize.
There was definitely one. I'm sure. There's no way. They find the Clockwork in the river. A little bit of a pick there for Falcons.
I feel like it's kind of okay just because Falcons is so grouped up. You could see that Waska are pushing in the other side of the map. The question for me is, when does Waska feel like they could take a team fight? They already have 2 of their BKBs. They still want a 3rd one. That's on Dark Mago, so maybe it's that. Maybe it's just timing, which they're currently going for it right now. 3-man smoke to the corner of the map to try and interrupt Roshan.
Dire's bottom
And they're not the fastest at doing Rosh, that's for sure.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They could really conceivably get here. The scan goes off. Falcon's going to vacate the pit. They back away. Smoke breaks. Waska doesn't immediately jump forward. They don't have everybody just yet. They're coming through the gate right now on the Clockwork. A buyback, hook shot in. Got the Dragonite while his BKB is going through. It's going to wear thin soon. Can they finish him off? Oh, Pyke certainly trying. It's not the fastest. Nice pin, though. And now the Requiem on top of that. Maureen's going to take a chunk of damage. And Waska, they're winning the fight. They might still be able to do it. Looks like Crit is going to try and gun down the Mars. That's going to be a little difficult. Snaking's also quite difficult to bring down. Amar's sitting in the middle with his Doom still up, apparently. A pin goes out, hitting the two supports. Looks like Amar's going to be run down. Dark Mago, can he finish off that kill? Oh, the Doom, and now the kisses are raining in. They're both going to die. The cores of Waska fall. Now it's just up to Matthew. Matthew, no! He doesn't have the damage. He throws out a boomerang, but he doesn't have any more spells. There's a bushwhack up. He gets hurricane. Turn around, bushwhack, gotcha. Now an acorn shot. It bounces back to Crit. Matthew gets the double.
What an awesome fight. Oh my god.
The last man standing. Matthew the Hoodwink, level 14 after that fight.
He has 3k gold. And it was such a cute attempt from Amar as well. He walks in and he whirlwind pulls the Hoodwink toward himself and tries to get off the stun. He instantly gets bushwhacked and killed. And then in the fog just throws out the acorn shot to get Crit. Matthew got 5,500 experience from that fight. I think he started the fight level 10 or 11 and he ends it almost level 15. And look at this from Amar. So he goes for the whirlwind.
Hurricane.
Very nicely done on the Hoodwink stun. Very quick on the bushwhack and Crit. The acorn shot can bounce off Roche, and that's just like the perfect storm of everything for Waska.
And the best part is Waska, they went pretty even in that team fight, but now they can fight for Roshan on their own side, but Skeeter got the initiation of Pyke. This is very different. He's already forced away, though, trying to get away. BKB on Skeeter allows him to pursue. Requiem's going to go off. They start backing out. But now, though, okay, Skeeter no longer has the BKB, and Sacred is trampling him. Can they finish off this Dragonite, though? Once again, they're running low on damage as the team fight extends. Their burst damage just doesn't quite do the job. Nobody dies on the side of Falcons, and they're going to pick up more on Waska, surely. Nice pin, stop of the Viper, a better bushwhack on 2. Allows Waska to retreat without further losses, but they did lose the Primal Beast, and the Falcons now control the pit.
Dang, these fights are great. I'm very impressed with Waska's recovery of this game. I'm not going to say I wrote them off after 15 minutes, but I thought this lead was going to start growing, or continue to grow, rather. But they're definitely making Falcons work for it. They'll get the Aegis finally here, as Matthew in a little bit of an interesting spot here. They'll know he's there now. Skitter sees him, because the Lotus disappears, but he's probably too nimble here and could just TP out.
Yeah.
Wants to run all the way to safety first.
Wait till he can scurry in trees or not.
Oh! He shouldn't have waited so long.
Well, there he goes.
Yeah, Skitter got his blink ready again. So ironically, running further killed him.
Yeah.
Also, he ran into the enemy watcher, I think. Or was it unclaimed at the time? Not sure if it was unclaimed. It was claimed.
It's lit.
Such a nice name for a buff. Lit.
Lit. Yudomi. Okay, let's try this.
Tanky.
Yeah, snaking has proven a couple times he is very hard for Waska to bring down.
No. Okay. I killed him.
That hero is something else, man.
Easy kill. Just needed 4 of them to kill the enemy 5.
Yeah, I mean, he does have Treads, Drums, Pipe. He is pretty damn farmed. He is 88 CS.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Man's been hitting some creeps.
I mean, that's just a completely standard Enchantress game from Snaking, though. He has this pattern of how he plays both Chen and Ench, where he secures the lane, does very well early, and then he makes sure he scales, because he knows for either hero that his overall late game impact can be massive on these supports if he gets all that gold.
Right.
And the thing that makes it so powerful is that you're farming through pressure on both heroes. So on the Chen, you're farming by split pushing waves with your creeps and also semi-jungling. And on the Ench, you're farming by jungling the enemy side of the map. And they never feel happy to run into you and gank you, because it's like, yeah, we killed the Ench, but it takes a lot of resources. Your teammates get a lot of information for it.
And maybe
and
we're
the time
missing
it
some
takes.
neutral camps in the process because
Exactly. And even if you kill them, it generally takes a lot of time, so that's
Dire's middle tower.
moments of opportunity wasted. Sacred. Not get stunned there by Skitter. That could have got scary, actually.
yeah, I'm surprised that he went for that. Aghanim Scepter, though, that's why. He was really close to a big pickup.
Break the Viper, break the DK.
Break the Enchantress. There's
And-
so many
yeah.
good breaks. Wow.
Sure. Break the Aura on Doom, +3 armor.
The toughness aura.
Yeah. Lest we forget.
Breakable. Yes.
Yes.
Hurricane Pike for the Viper. It does seem like if Falcons get the initiation, Waska's response very oftentimes just doesn't have enough damage, right? We saw like Skeeter went in,
Yeah.
blink stun like he's doing right now for Mago, and he just sticks on the SF. They have to do something to him, and they just do not have the damage. But maybe with a break mechanic, that could make things very different. Again, still probably have to wait out BKB. Pike in trouble. Hook shot, Cogs caught on 3, throws out the arena. That's not enough to save the SF, but maybe can Waska still win this without their Shadow Fiend? The Primal Beast, it's up to him and his Ags. Falcons, they get outside of the base, even though some heroes got low, and it looked pretty dicey there. 3 heroes stuck together underneath a tier 3. They were able to retreat, reset, push whack. Catching 2 here, no follow-up from Waska. 45 seconds. Without the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, this is really difficult to defend. The Viper Shard, and just going to keep healing. She still has Pipe ready, by the way. That was not expended in that exchange, and you still have the Aegis, too, on the DK.
Are fortified.
So some serious problems that Waska have to overcome. Next wave is approaching. Snay almost has his heal, so he could heal Skitter up to full if he wanted to.
Trying to kill that creep
Greaves.
wave. There goes Greaves. Now the charge in from Sacred, but he knows if he steps just a little bit too far to kill that wave, he probably gets blink stunned. They're just going to have to give up melee barracks.
They just don't have the damage without SF, and Falcons know it. They know how strong they are. They'll
Nice spear back.
Yeah.
Mago is stuck, though. Was it worth it to kill the Enchantress? Gem, actually, maybe it was worth it.
Get much follow through, though.
Yeah, not for now. Pike needs to farm up his souls.
That's one lane down. Now Falcons, obviously 3 minutes until the early Roche spawn. We'll see if they just want to play map control until then, or if they try to find a moment of opportunity to strike. They should know for a fact that Shadow Fiend doesn't have buyback, or he would have expended it for that first lane. So for Amar, that could just mean I am going to look for Pike again. And if we kill him, we take a second lane.
We'll see whether or not Falcons wants to get that aggressive. Maureen, he's level 19. He's going to try and pick up a Butterfly as his next item. Skeeter's going to grab an AC, so just stacking armor on top of armor. So even when he gets broken, which between the Primal Beast as well as eventually a Silver Edge for the Shadow Fiend, they'll still have a significant amount of armor no matter what.
Surprised they only have the one Pike on Malrine, and that they're not getting... They aren't getting more Force Steps, are they? Okay, Ench is now getting one. But he did go Drums Pipe before, considering Force. It just seems like a good tool against the enemy team, and I know I'm saying that against Arena, but as soon as the Arena is over, or if you aren't even in the Arena to begin with as the initial problem, just repositioning against this Dire lineup is extremely powerful.
Sure.
But yeah, they will get that second one eventually coming out on Ench. Skitter has 5,000 HP currently, and 51 armor.
Yep.
Barrier, very good.
Turns on the armlet, activates the shield rune, just for a little bit extra.
Yep. And they do want a siege. They're not waiting.
Get a
Waska,
high ground ward,
smoke on
smoke's gonna
smoke.
break. They go for the Primal Beast. Now they BKB him. Hurricane toss him back in. They certainly have the damage to deal that. He does not have buyback.
Such an easy kill when you doom and the enemy team doesn't have saves.
And having a hook shot back. Now another bit on cooldown. It was kind of a risky maneuver going for, I guess, another hero that wasn't the Shadow Fiend, but the Primal Beast does not have buyback, and Falcons are able to just push this once again. 4 versus 5. Matthew tries to sneak in a bushwhack. Falcons are not going to be caught slipping.
Yeah, that's 2 lanes. In comes Dark Mago.
Tries to
doing
look for a
though.
spear back or something, but just immediately BKB TP's out. Now he's lured Pike into his death. Pops the BKB far too late. Waska ultimately are just working with too few resources.
I mean, okay, if you want to fight and try something there 4v5, I'm okay with it if you think you have an opportunity, but you did it after you lost the racks, basically. And then didn't really commit to it either way. Maybe the plan of the Mars just failed because he overshot his blink and he ended up short. So he didn't get the spear back that he was looking for. I don't know what it was, but it definitely did not work. And now, it's just another 4v5.
Yep.
Which is even worse, because I think missing the Shadow Fiend instead of the Primal is a much bigger problem. You don't really have the damage to kill Falcon's heroes. Looks like Falcons are still going to respect this, though, and just play the map. They'll get the 35-minute Wisdom Rune.
We got Roche coming up. The Butterfly is very, very close to being done for Malrine. So
they can do whatever they want. They can take their time. They're in a very commanding position.
Oh, and he took the 0.2 Predator damage per missing health.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I'm still not convinced this talent is worth taking over attribute bonus.
Yeah, an
But
extra
it's
10 damage on average is not that much to write home about.
So your Predator Innate gives you 0.35 plus 0.05 per level of your hero to damage you do per percent the enemy target is missing. So right now, if they're missing 50% health, Viper hits for an extra about 60 damage. That's nice.
Yep.
But out of that 60 damage, like 10?
10 of it, yeah.
Is coming from that
If they're
talent.
50% HP, he gets 10 extra damage.
That's if they're half health. And you think about how other heroes just get a 15 talent with 30 damage.
Yep, yep. It's
real bad.
But, you know.
I mean,
it's going to be right-clicking.
If he thinks the Viper Strike talent is not worth it, fair enough. I genuinely think even if you're using Viper Strike and it's doing reduced damage, a lot of the time that will still be better than the other one.
I would agree.
Maybe we're undervaluing it. When heroes get low and Viper will struggle to just finish them off, this will push it over the edge. But
An extra 16 damage, 18 damage.
I personally think this is the worst 20 talent in the whole game. Maybe the worst talent overall. That's a tall order or a big statement, but it's definitely, it is without a doubt.
Of course, we're operating with what is written on paper. It's entirely possible that it's bugged.
Oh yeah, true.
That
Yeah,
also
yeah.
could
Can never count that out. It
right?
might be the best facet in the game, or
Yeah.
talent. Maybe it does plus 20% damage
Dire are scanning.
Now you're talking.
per missing health.
All right, well, Butterfly is done. Aegis is required. Malrine, you're not going to just farm up for the full Scotty, right?
Right?
Okay, he wanted his tier 4 item. That's fair. I was like, what are you... You're not actually going to farm up 5,000 gold right now, are you serious? No. Man just wanted his neutral item, which he is not chosen yet. Must be a hard decision.
Mars Refresher. He needs to be careful how he presses his buttons, Margot, to have mana for this. Arena Refresher Arena is 850, and he has 843. But he has a Soul Ring and a Mango, but he also needs to BKB and Spear. So the sequence here is Soul Ring pre, Blink, Arena Spear, and BKB. Refresh, use your Mangoes, Soul Ring again, and then you can use your Volley. But
Okay, sounds simple.
that's a lot of things to do in the heat of the moment. Let's see if he pulls it off. First Spear. He's doomed. Now it doesn't matter.
No more combo. All of those lists gone. They go for the Viper. The Viper is the one with the Aegis. How many heroes are they going to lose to take away that first life? It's the Mars. It's not sacred, so it's just one. But it is going to be Megas as they retreat back to their fountain to heal up. The buildings have no retreat.
And these towers fall fast to this double dragon army.
Dire's middle tower.
Oh, trying to get a bushwhack. Nice blink forward there. Good reaction. Still hit by the Requiem, though. Got off his BKB right before the Primal Beast grab, and that probably means Skeeter no longer much of a threat left. Death Requiem, maybe a little bit of Primal Beast damage. None of it is enough to finish off the Dragon Knight, and that's just one hero. There are 4 more to go. If you want to be able to push back Falcons, hook shot in deep. Yodomi lands one. Pops the Ghost Scepter, immediately enchanted.
Hookshot for what?
Hookshot for style.
That's a less known song by Lil Jon.
Yes, very good.
Dire's
Hookshot for what?
Yep. Well, that's that game.
Dire's structures are
Nope, never mind. They glyph.
Want to give Falcons a
Well,
chance for...
that's that game.
There it is. Good job.
All right, Falcons get it done. I have to say, I think
Against Falcons.
the first thing I thought when I heard this music was it was the music of a team that just won.
Oh, I was thinking like inspirational.
I was getting like Champions vibes from this, as in you already won, not you need
the
to
trophy.
get motivated to. Yeah, that was like trophy music.
Yeah, I
30
can see that.
seconds to
Don't get ahead of yourselves, production. It's not over yet, okay? All right. That is actually a great recap of what the production room sounds like.
Hey,
Just,
silence.
Oh, there we go. All right, let's see what Waska's got for us this game. I am with the panel 100% that this time around, Waska have better lanes than they did before. And their lineup is more coherent and easier to understand. That said, though, they still played a decent last game from a disadvantageous position. So this time around, if they can come off to an even early game, things might be all that much better for them. And on top of all of that, they got the Pugna from Matthew, which has been outstanding in Group Stage 1. And then they kind of stopped prioritizing it as much in Group Stage 2 for whatever reason, despite Matthew just owning it up. Let's see why he made a name for himself on it in this game.
Did you see those odds, by the way?
Nope.
15-1?
It's for the series, right?
I don't know.
I don't think it's for the game. I think it's for series.
I mean, I understand. Falcons really did, put a beat down on that game 1, but Waska, they've shown they could do better, and it does feel like they have drafted themselves better. I mean, first order business, Synderen. Are they going to win lanes? Are they just not going to horribly lose lanes this time around?
I think they could win them, but realistically speaking, because of the opposition and how good Falcons are at laning, I think they can draw, and that's good enough for me. I don't think they have to win them.
Okay.
If you can draw here and do okay, and especially if you can somewhat pressure the Sven, that's going to help your SF, because what you want to do here is make Snaking stay top. Then he's not going to go through the gate and kill your own carry. Right. And Snaking, I'll promise you, he wants to go there as soon as he can. He wants to help out the Tusken Razor win that lane and break the game wide open. But Sven is a pretty dependent carry. He's not very good at playing 1v2 situations. He can obviously go jungle at a relatively early time, and that can be some sort of a solution, but this hero needs to be ahead to feel effective, so you really want a lot out of the laning stage before you consider hitting the newts, as a wise banana once said.
True. Gotta hit some newts, bro.
Yeah. Gotta hit the newts.
That's why it's so important to make sure that EC camp is blocked. See the support battle that's happening between the two of Matthew and Snaking.
This Falcons lane, I think on paper, is actually quite good against SF, but I do think if Clockwork plays it well, he can equalize it. The risk that you face as SF against Tusk Razor is if Tusk charge you in and the enemy heroes come up close, then you don't stand very well.
Maybe it's Crit who dies first? No, it doesn't happen. They still get the first blood. That'll go to Crit. And they're decently healthy between the Razor and Tusk as well. So it's not fair, Cinderin. Razor is good against melee heroes, but then if he's up against a range hero, he could just max out Plasma Field and be good against the range hero.
Yeah, and it's not like the Drain still is bad against SF when you have shards.
Right, yeah.
It's a lot easier. That's the X factor for me in this lane, is that SF usually would be good against a hero like Razor because you can just play long range, but you can be forced into close range by the Tusk. And that's where Clock comes into play and has to be the wall. As you saw there, when he's the wall, it's not like he's out of trouble and can't be taken down by the Falcons heroes. Already have a 1k lead. The lanes for Falcons looking hot once more.
Yeah, that mid lane matchup, 20-5. Maureen is killing it in this matchup against Dark Mago's Tiny, which I thought was going to be more even.
Yeah, I thought so too. There's some creeps to claim here. Actually, no, they're from Elreen, so
Yeah,
he might be 2 full waves ahead on CS.
Indeed. Udomi in trouble again. Dies
Oh, Pyke
again.
cannot die
and
here.
Pyke,
He cannot die
he's
here.
got a Lotus,
Oh.
he's got a Lotus. He'll be okay, but they almost gave up the double, and the wave is pushed in. So the SF, I mean, he doesn't die, but he's not getting any CS.
This is almost as bad as dying, so I don't know if I want to take it back that he can't die there. Maybe he should have. Now you're just standing here. I guess the Tusk is, or excuse me, the Clock is going to bring you some tangos and a salve, but Yadomi is... Okay, that was SF's own salve, so...
Yeah, he's 12-2, and he bought himself a salve. So that just means the SF's net worth is real rough.
Yeah.
There you have it, 1,500. Lowest of all the cores, not that far ahead of the Tusk.
I mean, they're just getting outclassed. I still stand by what I said. I don't think on paper that these lanes are this heavily Falcons favored. I think you have a fighting chance in all 3 of them. Falcons might just be that bit better today. Sacred has the spear. Snay. I'll get the Decrepify out. This is obviously something that Falcons can counterplay down the stretch. They have Enchant to remove Decrep. Requires you to be in a position with Ench that you won't necessarily always find yourself in, but...
It is a really damn good Decrepify game, though. Like, later on in these team fights, you're not going to have that enchant, and I would question how quickly anybody on Falcons is going to get a nullifier.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's just all physical damage.
I'm guessing Pango could technically get it 3rd, right?
Yeah, probably.
Like Diffusal, second item, and then Nullifier. Whatever second item he wants, I'm assuming he'll just go Diffusal Ags. It's pretty standard. Doesn't feel like a game where Pango needs Dagger as a mid.
I think I kind of want him to. I mean, he's got two scaling side laners. I feel like you probably shouldn't be too greedy on the damage.
Well, knowing Skitter, he's going to buy Blink on Sven.
That's true.
And you also have Tusk. I think it's a bit of a mistake if you buy like 3 Blinks. I think that's too much net worth spent on that compared to just raw strength. But
okay, yeah.
You could also skip the Blink. I don't think Sven should skip Blink, though. I think you really want Blink against Pugna on this hero. You need to get the fast burst. It needs to be something you can't react to in time before the heroes die.
No, I'm with you on it. Though you describing it as how many Blink daggers your team would have, I think is a really apt way to be able to put it. Oh, these hogs make it a little difficult there for Maureen.
That was the tiniest little bit of debris that he rolled into, and now they're going to get Snay. Yeah. Close for a moment, but all right. Good defense from Waska. They bring a lot of heroes, but that's fine, because so did Falcons.
And, I mean, at this point, I would prefer Waska to overreact than underreact when it comes to this laning phase. Don't let Falcons take the CS lead that they have and give them a kill lead on top of that. So.
100%. Definitely want to respond and protect your course. I think defending your safe laner against Ench's first rotation is... It's not game deciding, but it makes a very big difference for the following.
And then the second step is defending him against the enemy carry rotation. Which
Skitter's actually going to steal some here, maybe? Oh, stole both of those. That's annoying for Pyke. Pyke is... Okay, the biggest concern in this game is not that it's a 1k lead for Falcons, it's that Shadow Fiend is in a clear 6th.
Yeah.
the hero has changed, so it's not
Radiant's
as much of a
bottom
death
tower
sentence
is
to
under
be behind in the lane, but if you fall enough behind against Sven and Razor, I think they just completely overpower you in BKB, and you can be as strong as you can stand your ground and fight back, but they're just better at what you need to do. SF is a stand and deliver kind of carry.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Good to Crab. Will expose
Saving
Matthew,
him,
though.
but means Matthew's now going to get chain stun as Malrine. Easily bring him down. They do manage to get a power rune out of it, though. A haste rune for a tiny could mean a lot, depending on what happens in this next 2 minutes.
Definitely a play with Mars
Yeah.
against Sven is possible.
I really liked Skeeter's move where he went through that gate. Like, okay, maybe he doesn't find a gank opportunity, but him just activating God's Strength, hitting the tower, and then TPing back to his own safe lane
Radiant's
during that
bottom
window,
tower
it just
is
felt
under attack.
very efficient.
Yep.
Pushes out his lane. Okay, instant break. Mar on the run now, but from behind, the Arena Spear combo. You need Pyke to finish the job here.
They want Pyke to get the
Will
last hit.
oblige.
They really want Pyke to get it. All right, that's
Got
good.
it.
That's big for him. Now he's behind by the same amount as a minute and a half ago. But if he hadn't got the kill, he would have been behind by more.
True.
So at least this way you kind of stay afloat.
And he's got that bonus Necromastery damage. It'll help him jungle just a
Radiant's
little
top
bit
tower
faster.
is under
That's
attack.
up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That theme song that Pango plays when he taunts, do you know where it's from?
I do not.
I'm wondering if it's something from like the Three Musketeers or whatever.
That is the first thing I thought of, yeah.
Because some of the taunts, it's like quite
Dire's top
iconic
tower is under attack.
movie or pop culture references, a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
Or like classical music, whatever.
Yeah, I think the thing about if it was some sort of Three Musketeers media, it probably isn't old enough for them to use. Unlike the music for Mars, right?
Right. But I guess, I mean, you can do your own like interpretation that's slightly different. Maybe they bought the rights for Sandstorm for Sand King's taunt. That could be. But that does play Sandstorm. And I know we're both getting there, but I also don't think that one is too old for copyright yet.
Dude, that discussion on the panel killed me. I was just sitting there going, has Synderen played Dota longer than Malrine's been alive? And by extension, that would apply to me too. And I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, it is. I don't know when Malrine's birthday is. It is possible. I don't know when I played my first game, but I think it was 2004.
I mean, let's put it this way. You've definitely played Dota longer than
scanning.
Satanic has been alive.
Yeah, that's true. Dumb kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think they could just play Dota for millions of dollars.
Dire are scanning.
Here comes Snake King. This is what he does.
Yep.
He's gonna push. He's gonna farm your jungle. He's gonna push your towers. And if you want to try and deal with him, go ahead.
And by pushing this
multiple
tower, he is giving Sven free farm.
Yeah.
That is the purpose. Snake King, the thing about playing aggressively on these Ench and Chens is just so impactful. Even if you die a couple of times, the rest of the map for your own team is just so free. Just the fact that he's keeping a hero up there all the time to take care of his pressure is already alleviating pressure everywhere else on the map.
Yeah, did you see I was gonna say, did you see the Would You Rather segment? Oh, I guess the one with the pro players, where they were talking about the carry who comes to every team fight or the carry who AFK farms. And
They pick different options, right?
yeah, there was a couple different ones, and I feel like the one for carry players is like, would you rather have a support who's like 0 and 15 but pushing out all the lanes, or a support that never dies? And I feel like most carries would rather have a support that is dying all the time than a support that never dies, because it does mean they're doing something, usually creating some sort of space for you.
It's a bit hero specific, but as an oversimplification, I would agree. I think because you can have 15 deaths by just being an idiot, right?
Yeah.
And playing overly aggressive and having dumb aggressive deaths. But if it's like controlled aggression like this, where you're going to get caught off once in a while and maybe a lot of times if it's a long game, that's fine. I'm on board with that. I think playing overly safe is way worse unless your hero's sole purpose is to save. Like, let's say Snaking was playing Oracle.
Yeah.
Then I think this playstyle that he's doing now, he would just be dying and not really accomplishing much. But if the
What do you
hero
mean?
is right,
Oracle can hit the tower for like 20 damage.
Yeah.
After he has 500
after he has pushed the wave for 2 minutes.
Or
expended all of his mana to do it fast, and then he's useless, so it's a bit tricky. But yeah, I think as a rule of thumb, I'm with you. I would rather have the guy dying to create pressure on the map and gain information than somebody playing for score.
That's right, kids. So when you're playing, you have all the 4 and 5s listening right now. Next time you go and have 10 deaths in a pub, just tell your teammates that Synderen said it's okay.
I think looking as KDA as a metric for in a pub game as a metric for the impact of the players is extremely misguided a lot of the time. It's also misguided in pro. There have been pro games where a player has gone like 0 and 15, and I've complimented them a lot on their play afterwards. It's just like, you got to look at the big picture. If you're dying to break 5 smokes in a row as a 5, and your teammates survive, I mean...
Toss back into the Requiem. Nice combo.
Love that.
Love that.
And that's going to give them a tower as well. Great dagger play from Mago.
All right.
And we were getting comfortable just talking about other stuff because Waska weren't really showing much intent in the game.
Now they've got the blink, it's time.
It's about to change.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
They've got double blinks with Sacred also having his, so...
Yeah, they better fight, because otherwise what was the point in buying these 2 daggers? Now you want to take initiative on the map, you want to be forcing Falcons out of their comfort zone of just playing and farming like this, and this is good. Pushing out that top lane is going to break Snaking's game right now in what he wants to do. Now he has to play defense, and that feels a lot worse. As a matter of fact, he's not even going to stand at the tower because he might be concerned about dying. Maybe he's just getting a creep and farming, but this is what you want to see out of, especially when you have Pugna. Just take these tier 1 towers early.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not early. 15 minutes, take the safe lane tower. It's probably a big reason why Falcons are not trying to contest at all. They're like, yeah, we don't care about that tower.
It's earlier than last game, I think.
Yeah.
Did Waska have 2 towers down minute 15?
I was about to say, did the safe lane tower die last?
I'm not actually sure.
I gotta go back for the Enchantress. It's gonna make him work for it.
He's not gonna die.
Oh no, he used hook shot too!
Okay, if he had hookshot the whole time, Snake could have died. I don't know if he was waiting or if he missed the angle, got blocked by a creep camp or something on your domain. I think he had it the whole time, but maybe thought he didn't have to use it and ultimately uses it too late. So, worst case scenario.
Yeah, the worst possible, like, you could just ignore the Enchantress.
Well,
or, you know, let somebody farm against him, whatever, and move to the other side of the map. The fact that you moved to that side of the map, did try and kill him, but failed, used an ultimate. Falcons, Sacred, got an initiation here. Is it good, though? It doesn't look so good, but the toss, it does a lot of damage. If only there was just more follow-up, man. That was a 3-man avalanche toss crash landing.
Yep. Big damage, but talking of big damage, Skidder just 3-shot the Mars.
Yeah.
Nice and quick kill for them. That's now BKB on a Mar.
Yeah, you won't be able to do that next time.
That hook's
hit by
gonna
the
land.
Hook shot, got him inside, so
That's
the battery
good.
assault can stop that rolling thunder, toss up in the air to finish him off. Good catch for Waska.
No hesitation on that one. They were debating if Snaking was worth the hook shot, but Malrine, it's a no-brainer. Snake gonna walk into them here. They will protect their obs. But that top sequence where Ench survived was the perfect illustration of what snaking wants to happen.
Yeah.
Obviously, him surviving and the hookshot not connecting is extra, but even if he dies there to those 4 heroes, he feels good about that. It's so much time, and you saw right there, the tricky thing about killing Ench with these kinds of lineups is it's not even necessarily a guaranteed kill, and let's say it is, it might take 20 seconds to just run that hero down. That's half a respawn time. And then she's just going to come back and do it again.
High ground ward on the Ancients, the enemy Ancients, so Falcons looking to play around that. It doesn't feel good when your Shadow Feed can't finish off the Enchantress because she has 1600 HP. And not to mention the crazy amount of regen, thanks to the heal and the passive, or the facet rather. Meanwhile, Falcons, with that high ground Ancient ward, they have a lot of information. They feel comfortable doing Roche.
Yeah. They put the Solar on the Sven, they use Tag Team, Snaking can tank it forever. Easy pick for them. And that will be an Aegis versus Skitter. Ideally, you actually wanted this Aegis on a Mar or on Malrine, but now they don't have to get over there. So efficiency first, I suppose.
Nice little Ancient stack. I was worrying Waska wasn't going to get too much out of this, but this certainly helps.
Yeah, that's good. Looking quite even on the gold now. SF has caught up.
Give him a couple more minutes, he'll have a BKB, and that will do wonders. Being able to deal with some of this aggression of Falcons, especially since Blink Dagger is now done for Malrine, so he did go second item Blink. So they blink on Sven, blink on the Pango, and we'll see whether or not Crit tries to build a third one here. I'm sure he will eventually.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Chopping down towers, take the mid one, smoke up.
This
Now
is a
push
pretty.
into the enemy jungle.
This is a really strong move. This is their Aegis fight with everything ready on Sven. This would be great if Yadomi just breaks the smoke and dies for the side of Waska, because the alternatives can be a lot scarier. If Falcons find the SF off on the right, Yadomi, yeah, he'll break it. All right.
Breaks it, he will die for it.
That's a good death.
The immediate got strength.
Yeah, he even used GDS for that. I don't know if they can get much out of this, if he can hit the mid tower, but otherwise, that's completely okay.
I mean, if they get more pickoffs, Matthew.
A little extra. That one was maybe avoidable.
Radiant's middle tower
BKB for Sacred. What else do we got on the Waska side? Conda being built by the Tiny.
Can Tiny kill Ench with Conda? I don't think he can, right? I think she's still too tanky.
I think she has too much HP right now, yeah.
Close on the spear there. That wasn't really going to be much follow-up. I'm not sure what the idea was there for Sacred. They'll protect their Wisdom as well as Tormentor, though.
Honestly, that's a win when the enemy team has an Aegis, I feel like.
Yeah, that's good.
Goes to show that the game is even and they're not being run over too much.
Unfortunately, the shard goes to Matthew. I think they would have rather had it on Yadomi here. This one, but can't be lucky every time. As a matter of fact, when you play Clockwork, you can never be lucky. It's always the damn Pugna that gets it. Let's see if Falcons get it on the one they want. I think both of theirs are good enough that there's no bad outcome.
That's true.
We'll get it on crit. We'll increase his farming speed. We'll offer them a little bit more teamfight damage. Arguably, what do you think about the bigger shards for Pango? Is that better or worse than the small ones for his ult? I think it's better, right? The bigger ones?
I guess it depends on this. It is if you somehow get into the shards.
Right, that's why.
And it's not good.
Oh, no.
He's very... Oh, Decrepify buys him time to get off the BKB. He's still very dead.
And now Matthew's dead.
Now Matthew's
So
dead as well.
that's worse.
That is worse.
Letting him die. Well...
She first said we just talk about what's on the screen.
It's about sending a message to your teammate. I'm here for you, buddy, through thick and thin.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
All right. They're going to smoke us 3 with 2 dead heroes.
Pike
okay. Whoa.
That hammer was aimed at the wrong target. Now he's going to get tossed back into the Requiem, though. He got the BKB. Good try. They still got him inside of the snow. Okay, good snowball. Pulled him completely out of that situation. They're going to slow down the Tusk. And Crit will be the sacrificial. Wait,
not yet.
Oh my god, he's so fast.
Now he will. Okay. Nice last hit from Yodomi. I can respect a good rocket player kill steal.
Phase drums, you're just zooming, man.
Yeah. All right, I wasn't sure I was going to like that smoke from Waska considering they had 2 dead heroes, but they did connect on the play as soon as they spawned, and Skitter missed that Sven stun. It hit the creep instead of SF, and that opened the door for a bit of a play there from Waska. Snaking will be greeting them.
Yeah,
Let's put it to the test here. How long will it take? Well, with 4 heroes.
Made it a bit easier. Helps that the Pugna doesn't have to stop his damage.
5 heroes. Okay.
5 heroes. 5 seconds.
I just looked at Snaking's player cam. He's just smiling.
Yeah, he's
just thinking to himself, my hero is so stupid.
Tiny in trouble. Yeah. Tiny dead.
Yeah, he's out of here.
You just cannot, especially killing Snaking, you can't accept a pickoff and say like, oh, Falcons, they're not going to fight us. I'm going to be able to push in this mid lane or something like that. It just doesn't.
I flat out think it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
I actually think these Enchantress kills are counterproductive. But it's just so annoying because if you don't do it, she's just there all the time, pushing out your lanes, being in the way. But like this amount of commitment, and think about what happens with this. So you're showing 5 heroes, so you're giving full info. You're spending, it's a lot of movement time. You're probably spending like 30 to 40 seconds on that gank because the heroes are crossing a big area of the map to get there. Then the kill itself takes 10 seconds. And now the enemy team, with all the information about where you are, they have tons of options. They can farm everything they want on the map because they know where you are. They can go for a smoke move themselves and get you because they know where you are. Or, in that case, they can kind of plan a trap around a wave because they're expecting somebody to come and take care of that wave. So in reality, Snaking's death was a net win for Falcons. They farmed more, they killed Tiny, and they lost a position 5. Who's back and gonna do the same thing again.
And Snaking is still gonna get his items. He didn't really lose much gold. He has a pipe coming very soon, so.
And they would have, think about this, they would have failed that kill if Mars didn't show up, by the way.
Yeah.
They needed the 5th hero. The first 4 weren't enough because they didn't completely layer all their stuff. So. Yep, nasty hero in the right circumstances.
Who do you think the best hero is in the game just to make sure that like you can always kill the Enchantress? Because we keep on saying this Enchantress for Falcons and other teams, and it has been a top tier support for quite some time. Blink away!
Nice reaction.
Wow! How did he not get tagged by damage there? They'll still get Matthew, and maybe Force Sacred, yep, to use his BKB. Looking at Dark Mago, they can still catch up to him. The Requiem's gonna hit Maureen. Rolling Thunder lasted just long enough for him to get away. Two-man stun, and the cleave. Pike is running with his BKB, trying to get to the other side of the arena, but the BKBs last too long on the side of Falcons. They stick to their hero they want to kill, and that was the Shadow Fiend. Nice spear back. Sacred is still stuck, though.
The moment.
Or dead.
The moment that Stormhammer lands, that fight's lost.
Yeah.
They cannot recover from that position. Skater gets to cleave 3 heroes for 3 swings. You're going to see the replay here. This Stormhammer coming in. And I don't like this Requiem either. I don't think it really does much, but this... Right, in fairness, it's only 2 heroes, but he cleaves the 2 strongest enemy cores down to 40%. Yeah. I mean, SF can't do anything better than this. He has to just go in and do what he can. But too tanky.
Too damn tanky.
So, against Ench, what is the best hero to reliably kill Ench?
Yeah.
I mean, in theory, it's either AA or Ursa, but both of those heroes have major weaknesses that don't really fit the meta. So
we saw the the last pop-off Ursa game. Did you watch that one? At Belgrade, the Nightfall
Oh, he was
Ursa
like
that went
15-0 and lost?
15-0.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And in my mind, he is probably the best Ursa player in the entire world, and he went 15-0 and still lost that game from a really strong position. That doesn't mean he's without flaws and that he couldn't have done better, but I think given the circumstances, there are a lot of other carries with a similar situation just win that game.
Yeah.
I don't know, who else is a good Ench killer innately?
Yeah, the first hero I thought it was Ursa, and I was like, yeah, that hero's just out of the meta. So
I mean, historically, Meepo was quite good at it, but I don't think it's as good anymore.
he's got a 4-staff. He'll get to the other side. He's fine.
Are we missing some hero?
I'm sure there is. Yodomi's about to cash in his Philosopher's Stone. That's hype. BKB. Skater doesn't get tossed back. Play around the arena. Falcons will just back away. They say, okay, whatever.
Arena for BKB is okay for Waska. They also get some control back. It's fine. Get some space on the map. Once more, they're going to need it. And they will smoke. I kind of like this if they somehow catch them off guard. Now you know that there's no BKB on Sven, so he is a possible target. And despite not having Arena, you still have plenty of other catches. You have the Clock, you have the Tiny. So finding any moment of opportunity here would be very nice for them. Now, Falcons are keeping good formation, though. Mago failed.
Too slow on the Avalanche. He blinks backwards, but Sacred has already been tagged by damage, and now he's shard blocked in. He pops his BKB, but Amar is going to drain him of so much damage here. He's sticking onto him. The Storm Sacred's going to go for a TP out. He does manage to make it, but what have been his allies? A snowball through, hits Mago, stalls up Pike. He BKBs TPs out as well. It's the Nightfall everywhere you see. Death or Nightfall for Waska.
Yeah, once again, I like the idea of that smoke, because you got to do something. But Falcons had really good formation there, and the Tiny was too slow to react when he broke on Tusk. I flat out just think Mago wasn't expecting to be broken there. It caught him off guard, and his reaction was to just avalanche on top of the Tusk instead of maybe... You could have maybe blink tossed him there if you were fast enough, and then build a fight around that, but instead your initiation just fails completely and you give away info, and Falcons find the angle on the Mars, and as soon as he misses that spear, that fight is doomed. Well, that's a Daedalus. That's very unfortunate for Pike. Well, he is still missing the Demon Edge, so maybe he wouldn't have made it in time.
Biggest counters to Enchantress, according to Dota Buff. PA, not meta hero.
Yeah.
Marcy, we saw a little bit of Marcy here and there.
Okay,
Belgrade recently. Pudge hasn't been much of a hero lately. Morphling.
Okay.
That's definitely relatively meta.
We were talking about who can most consistently kill her, right? I think PA has to be maybe #1 in theory, but the hero is not really played at a pro level most of the time. She's too slow. Her laning is okay, depending on matchups, but she has this awkward mid-game period where she just doesn't offer that much. What was the other one you said?
Morphling.
Marcy. Excuse me, Marcy.
Marcy, yeah.
Maybe Marcy is better than PA on average at killing Edge, given the same net worth. Because she doesn't rely on getting in a lot of attacks to get the crit. She's just going to punch, and then if she has... At Daedalus, for example, she just kills you with...
That's another reason why Chaos Knight is up there as well.
Yeah, CK is pretty good too.
Haven't seen Chaos
this
in a while.
Could be an interesting chase if Snaking wanted it. Yeah, Ench does that too. We've been talking about the... Let's do a little short list of what Ench offers you as a hero.
Okay.
To really illustrate why this is an S-tier hero in Pro Dota. It wins lanes.
Yep.
It scouts. It tanks.
Yep.
It tanks Roche for you. It takes towers. And then later in the game, it is a semi-carry.
It is a semi-carry. That same potential.
And it heals
also,
a ton, of course. It also heals you and your team.
Heals you and your team. It can also help you do Tormentor.
Yeah.
Right? Because of the thing you could do with the impetus.
Or with the heal.
Dispel. Like,
yep.
I don't know if you said Dispel, but that's
it also has that.
Very strong mechanic sometimes.
This hero does it all, man. As a support, this is basically everything you can dream of.
Does not stun.
True.
But
well, she can get a stun with enchant.
Well, that's kind of cheating.
Hello, Matthew.
Goodbye, Matthew.
How fast could you get 6 slotted if this kill was worth 519 gold? If Skitter was just hitting Matthews nonstop, how fast could he get 30k gold?
Well, it depends. Are we talking about one Matthew, or can there be multiple Matthews and cleave through all of them?
One Matthew at a time.
Okay, one Matthew at a time.
He killed that Matthew in about 1 second, right?
Yeah.
Oh, added a Yodomi for good measure.
Yodomis and Matthews just back to back.
Yep. Oh, they're actually going to pop down the banner here. I mean, Clockwork is dead, but now you don't have God Strength anymore. They still feel comfortable to continue. I guess why not? The only real play here is a toss back. There it is.
Yep, an immediate counter as the Tiny is going to be in trouble, but so will Skeeter. He's going to lose his first life. The Rolling Thunder is causing some chaos. Meanwhile, Dark Mago is still not dead. He tosses away. Now they got it inside the arena. Mar pops the BKB to chase after him, though. Ghost Scepter to Decrepify, rather, goes off, and that will save the Tiny. Dark Mago does not die for this one, and looks like Maureen might be in some trouble. Swashbuckles away. Can we get some crit save? They finally finish him off. Meanwhile, Sacred tries to catch more. He's immediately rebuked, but he rebukes them back. Hits them with the God's Rebuke, and now the hook shot in. There's your catch. Skeeter has to use his BKB. Another Decrepify. Oh, immediately put down. Spear back onto the Razor. Good hit. Now a snowball in. Traps in a couple of heroes, but Matthew draining. Force staff back down. Skeeter, he tries to go for the kill onto Pike. He's not getting that one. Toss up in the air. Hit by some damage. If they can catch with an avalanche, they've almost got the toss. They'll get the pin on the spin. Finish off the toss. Turn back to Pike. Skeeter, he's dead. What a team fight for Waska, turning it around in a big, big way. All of a sudden, Falcons are only up 4K.
That was a 7,000 gold swing in that one fight, and it all starts with the tossback and Sven not having God Strength, and they built the whole fight around that. Multiple great Decrepifies out of Matthew in that situation as well. This is looking... Uh-oh, how much can they get here? He has 4 lasting presence and a Tiny.
Oh, yeah.
This is the bulldozing boys going to work. Woo! They are getting a lane. Oh, fuck. Look at that damage.
Oh, Waska, what have you done? Falcons is never going to go high ground again. Like, see, this is why we build up an advantage.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that.
No.
It's one thing to win the fight from a defensive position, but to kill 4 heroes and then get a full wave, full lane out of it in one push is more than you could have asked for. This is really awkward. If Crit would have kept running, he would have killed Yodomi there.
Yeah.
He's piecing out. It's like, wait. Now they see the cogs. They're like, what?
Did you see, by the way, in that last team fight, the Clockwork, they try and kill him at some point, and I think he gets Decrepified, and then they enchant to spell off the Decrepify, and then he pops his Ghost Scepter.
Yeah. Yep.
Got him.
That's the stuff.
I mean, they just have, again, just all right-clicking or physical damage, one or the other.
I thought the coolest part of that fight was when they tossed Amar onto Mars, and then he instantly speared him back where he came from.
Yeah.
They tossed back into spear forward, and it worked, so can you blame him?
Sick stuff. Waska putting together a mean team fight, and this is now an even game. Falcons up by 3K, but Waska with the mid lane pressure after taking a lane of barracks. And Falcons say, okay, I'm going to need some more items.
Yeah, not too much room to grow for the Sven, but of course Razor can be a late game monster as well. Amar has carried countless games on this hero.
And as we theory-crafted early on, we said maybe there's a 3rd item nullifier. It's going to be a 4th item nullifier for the Pango, and they need it. Yeah. Matthew was way too much of a nuisance there with those Decrepifies, and there's only so much one enchant can do.
Yeah, he'll have it in a moment too. That'll be a very, very big upgrade for them. He could actually technically just get it now, right? If he sold his bottle, I guess he wants to hold on to the bottle for now. Could have sold his stick. Anyway, he'll get it mid-wave.
Yeah, they're no rush. They've got plenty of time because I assume nobody's really going to be fighting until we get to Roshan territory, which is still for a minute and a half. Daedalus, and now Butterfly. Pike This is bad news for Falcons. They don't have any MKB scenarios here. This is going to be a Shadow Fiend that if you do not get the initiation on, he's going to whoop some ass.
Yeah, he can just stand and deliver, especially if heroes are caught in the Mars arena. The lineup really comes nicely together. We've seen Mago get multiple good tossbacks. That's great for the SF. So definitely in a good position. Wonder if they're going to ever buy True Strike in this game, actually. They might not. They might just have to deal with the evasion, because Sven doesn't want to buy it. Razor is currently looking at a refresher.
I mean, at least a Bloodthorn at some point, right? Somebody could get that. Oh, okay, there goes the MKB. Never mind. Amp damage.
He stole the root.
Rolling Thunder. They found Matthew. This is a great pickup if they can finish him off with the amp damage and that pickoff. This is looking good. Pyke puts himself up on the high ground. The arena keeping Skeeter locked in for now. Pyke is at half HP. Can he do something about Skeeter? Yeah, with the toss back Requiem, they've got him. Now a pin back on Crit, who tried to roll in with the snowball to bail out Skeeter. Really well played, Waska. I thought that start was going to be terrible for them. Maureen is still going to try and cut the wave.
There's
one creep, the flag bearer creep, still survives.
Are you going to send Ench in for this? Oh, they're healing it. Nice.
Go enchant it.
They're healing it. They're cresting it.
Just enchant it, Skeeter.
Yeah.
Enchant it, enchant it, enchant it.
Oh, what?
Oh, no, he didn't kill it. Decrepify it, sealed up. Oh, no way. Dude, are they going to be able to end the game off of that? They have backdoor protection down. Again, the SF is full of those stacks right now. The minus armor adds up, a toss back in the air. More kills, more hero kills just means more of this presence. The lasting presence is allowing them to just bulldoze down towers. Oh no, Falcons.
Backdoor is kicking in really soon. Amar is buying time. Now it's there.
Okay, it's there now, but maybe they could still cut through it.
I don't think they can. This is awkward. Pugna's dead.
Rolling Thunder bouncing around is some of their focus. Oh, the Tiny's in trouble. Tiny's dead.
No.
Oh, okay. He's got PKB. He's got PKB. He's gonna try and TP out. Can Tusk get there in time? No. The rest of Waska are out. Okay.
All right. Well, Falcons do hold. It cost them a dieback on the Ench. That one creep mid, he went to kill it. He had 2 seconds left on enchant. I think if Snaking had just waited, like you said, he could have just enchanted the creep and that would have been it. But instead, he rushed in head first to kill it off, and that cost him 2 lives instead of the 1. Now, they do end up killing the Tiny in their base, which is quite valuable. But this is very much on a knife's edge, the game now.
Oh, Falcons really hoping that Roshan was going to be a fast spawn, and they could just go and do it while the Tiny is dead. Not happening. It's a late one. Level 25 for Skeeter. So he's got the extra God Strength damage.
Dire are scanning.
If they get to Scythe of Ice, then all of a sudden you're opening up a potential, a much easier potential for you just 100 to 0 some hero. Right now, it's like kind of offered some sort of blink spear back or blink toss back, and Falcons don't pop their BKBs fast enough, but
yeah,
instant disable would open up a lot for Waska.
So far, what has given them successful fights is outliving Skitter's BKB and then tossing him into Requiem. That's been the best and easiest fights they've executed. It's going to be less and less reliable to just win the fight straight off of that when Amar gets Refresher, but until that point, it's still going to be massive.
Oh, Pyke. They break the smoke here. Dark Mago tries to go in, gets the toss inside the arena. The spear on Skater, he's dead. Pyke's damage is too much for Falcons to handle now, as he is just throwing out the shots. Falcons are trying to kill every other hero outside of the Shadow Fiend for now. A jump back in from Maureen, a shield crash, trying to clear some waves. Creep lands on him, kills him. Chasing after Snake King. Yeah, the Tiny's gonna stick onto him. Crit, ooh, blink away before the spear lands. Snake King is on the run. Dark Mago, he'll blink after him soon, as long as he sees him. Spots him, gets a little vision.
Force staff. get it off.
Avalanche, there's the toss there. Should be the kill.
Could have maybe lived with an instant force, but he doesn't know what's coming.
Crit, he's trying. They're doing the same thing. They want to try. Okay, he does manage to aggro the creep wave. Snowball, he's still got a Yules.
He's got Yules as well as the cloak.
But they didn't stop the creep wave. You can see we've got Amar who's going to cut the next wave, but there is still a wave that's pushing in.
Yeah, that's got to be game, right? How can Malrine possibly delay this enough? He doesn't have ult yet. Well, he has it in 2 seconds, maybe.
Walrus Punch in the air first. Jump inside those shards. Aims it, chain stuns. Amar is on top of Pyke, and he's draining a lot of his damage. He's trying to break the link. It doesn't work. He's down to half HP. Almost finished off the spear. It lands, but still Amar gets the damage to finish the job, and he doesn't have a buyback. They've run out of damage now for Waska. It's full retreat once again. Crit's not going to let him leave. Not so easily anyway. Yules, yeah, we'll go up together, but you'll be the one going down hard.
Oh, Pyke was so close to having buyback. I don't even know if he would have wanted to use it to come back to that fight, because what connection point did he really have? I guess he had the outpost on the right-hand side, so maybe, but I think he would have been too late regardless.
Yeah.
Oh, close call. They just barely have enough in the tank, their Falcons, to stall it out. But they are starting to run out of buybacks. Like, they are using so many resources to keep this afloat.
Wait, which side?
Well, the Falcons expended the Pango one there, right?
Yeah, they did.
But I guess you're right. It's kind of even on the buyback front. Falcons will be getting the Roche because of the timing of that situation. This would be a nice Aegis for Skitter. He needs it. He is dying fast in these fights. Now the problem is he's not going to have a refresher for a second BKB when he respawns or a second ulti, so it's not the best of Aegises, but it does make a difference.
I kind of feel like
it's caught without using all his stuff the first time.
They could give Snake King could give the refresher shard to the Sven so he could have it on the second life. I assume they're holding it for the Razor though. I really feel like
I think Amar's the carry of this game now.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I would agree with that.
So it's probably better to set Amar up for success, and then Sven is a distraction. I think that's the idea here.
All right, now the Shadow Fiend's got a shard. That's not a bad one to get this late. Never mind, I forgot what it was. I still had the free crit one where it fears you in my head. I mean,
when's the last time you saw him raise?
He does have the Shadow Raise applies attack damage talent now, so, you know, maybe.
That's fair. It's because, well, the other one is not great. So, yeah, the raises do hit hard, though. That's... Oh, yeah, the raises can crit, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I actually forgot that. Yeah, that's hype.
Do it with flair.
Aeon Disc now completed for Pango. 2 toss charges on Tiny is also really big. Will Falcons just go straight forward again? Last time did not go well 20 minutes ago. I'm going to play the map. Amar is 24.5. He would love to get that 25.
Oh, yeah.
So crazy against Shadow Fiend to steal his attack speed. And I think, honestly, in that base defense, when you saw him linking the SF, I think the Lotus Orb was 0.1 second too late or whatever from Waska. Because if they had the link reflected there, I feel like Waska should have won the fight. So they must have cast the Lotus just a moment too late.
Swift Blink next for Skater.
Yeah. Pretty natural.
I mean, if he's the distraction, I almost wonder if he would prefer Overwhelming Blink.
I thought you were going to say Aeon Disc. Okay. Nice tower damage. Both the mid and the top lane is more or less open. these towers have so little health that if Falcons could somehow win a fight, they could bare minimum get 1 or 2 lanes or multiple buybacks. Even if their God Strength runs out, they can still chunk down a decent amount of that.
Got 25 seconds till the glyph is back up for Waska as well. Just further incentive for them to do nothing but wait.
Yep.
And Falcons will farm and farm.
And farm some more. Great with the almost completed Wind Waker. Has a cheese in the backpack. Is running around with sentries instead of that cheese, despite having gem. Perhaps not the right prioritization of your inventory right now, unless he absolutely will not use the cheese under any circumstances, but is just holding it. Oh, there we go. They're listening. They're in the walls, Cap. They're in the walls.
He likes his cheese cold. He doesn't want to hold on to it, you know, body warm.
That's fair.
You a cheese fan, Cinderin?
Yes, I am. Don't ask me the question. That's the big meme. Don't do it.
Okay.
There you go. You don't know that meme either? Cap, what do you?
What? I just said okay. I didn't say I didn't know the meme.
Okay, so what is it?
I don't know.
God damn it.
Don't have to expose my ignorance,
It's
though.
a classic thing with like celebrities when they do an AMA or when they tweet or whatever that you just, somebody will write to them. That's really great, but I was wondering, what's your favorite type of cheese? You've never seen that before?
No.
That people write that? Dude, am I a degen or are you just uninformed? Matt Dark Mago, okay.
They got a chance stun on him. Oh, the Requiem might have landed, but he still got off the BKB, and the Rolling Thunder is causing a bit of problems. Amar does manage to get off his link, and that is enough for Waska to say, okay, we want to reset a little bit, but Skeeter's not going to let him. He jumps on a Pike. Pike popping his BKB. Hurricane Pike forcing back the Razor. Got to keep that guy at bay.
That was really close for both teams. Trying to get that fast kill on Amar because the Aegis is on Skitter, but he was just tanky enough to get out of there. Wonder what his favorite type of cheese is, though.
Gouda.
Not exact.
That deserved some silence. This game also lends itself to silence right now, to be honest. Everybody popped everything, so not much is going to happen in the foreseeable future. Falcons will take the Tormentor.
No more shards.
Nope. Probably just going to chill for a little bit here, waiting for their resources. Now, despite not killing the Razor, this fight does prevent Falcons from aggressively using their Aegis.
Maureen gives up to the high ground here.
Nice try from Mago there with the Havoc Hammer.
Still hit him with the hook shot. Udomi gets him inside the cogs. When he comes back down, he's going to be pinned. Picked up by the snowball, but still killed.
Oh,
now
no,
Crit's going to die as well. Oh, no wonder Crit tried to jump in to bail him out.
Oh,
Okay, no, it's coming up. It's coming up. Okay, Crit doesn't have buyback, though.
Did Mallory not have roll up there? When he came out of the...
He died to the Netherward, I think.
Well, when he came out of the Yule.
Oh.
Or the Wind Waker. I thought he was going to insta-roll up. Snaking.
And surely one of these shots is going to be enough damage, right? God damn, he's taking. Why isn't he dead? Why is he not dead? Skeeter's killing Pike. Amar and Skeeter, they tag teamed him. He's down. Waska. See how many heroes can get out here. Dark Mago still has his BKB.
Good spear.
He's holding on to it. Are they going to turn? They're going to turn on and TP onto the outpost. Mago tosses them together. The SF is coming in soon. Amar's low. Amar gets the cheese, managed to heal up. Snaking, throwing some impetus shots back in. Maureen, he's thinking about trying to cut in from behind. There it is. The swashbuckle shield crash, roll up. Now hitting Sacred, chain stunning him. Aeon Disc goes off. Falcons have called it quits, though. They say another buyback, a hook shot that barely misses.
That would have hit. That could have maybe been big. Because that Pango does not have buyback. You would have loved to catch him there on the clock.
How is that Enchantress not dead?
Have they done enough? I mean, Waska are all in here. They've just bought back so many heroes, and they're still pushing. If this fight
There is
fails...
still a glyph and a refresher picked up for the Sven.
Tossback failed.
Oh, no!
He tossed a creep.
And now Amar. He sees a little blood in the water. He tries to strike, doesn't get the close with the SF. Is going to have to link Dark Mago instead. Decrepify's only going to last so long. Does what he can with the tosses. Skeeter chasing after, hoping for more. A buyback from the Tiny. Now got him inside the arena. Skeeter going for Pike. Yodobi trying to intercept. A hook shot lands onto the tusk while Skeeter is demolishing Pike. Pike gets away with the Hurricane. Pike now trying to get up the Requiem. The Requiem, it goes up, but it may not be enough. They're not pushed enough away. Amar finishes them off. The Drain, it's too much damage. The Plasma Field, they have all the stuns in the world and no damage on the side of Waska. They've just run out. The Shadow Fiend is gone. Now it's Waska desperately hoping that they can cut creep waves and delay, but they can't stop it. GG is called, and Falcons will get the 2-0, knocking Waska out of DreamLeague in the process.
Wow. I mean, what can you say? This was another game where Falcons start off with good lanes